welcome into today's tutorial. My name is Erin of erinbunpaints here on Twitch. For those on YouTube, hello. For those who don't know, on YouTube, I host all of my step-by-step tutorials on Twitch, twitch.tv/erinbunpaints. So if you want to paint along with me live, along with everybody else painting, and ask me questions as we go, you can do that by checking out my Twitch channel. I usually stream, most days throughout the week, but 8 p.m. on Fridays is when I do the step-by-step tutorials, so you can watch out for me then. For today's tutorial, you can see we're painting this nice beach painting to my right. As usual, you have the digital version that you can see, and then I'll eventually switch over here where you can see my live painting as well as the digital version. And I will paint along with you step by step. So I'm not just going to tell you what to do, I'm actually going to do it with you so that we can all paint together and you can see exactly what I'm doing and follow along as much as you want. You're also welcome to change it up, of course. There are no rules here. I can't, force you to paint what I'm painting. So if you want to just use this as inspiration or just use this as an excuse to get creative on a Friday night, feel free to do that. We can keep you company as you do some lovely art at home. Otherwise you can, again, follow along and ask me questions as you go so that I can help you out. The materials for today are the same as always. I have 5 different paint colors that I'll be using. I do the 3 primary colors, so that's red, yellow, and phthalo blue. Specifically, I like phthalo blue. And then I use black and white. So with those 5 paint colors, I'll teach you how to mix all the nice in-between colors you see on the original there. But if you have more paint colors, of course, you're welcome to use them. In terms of brushes, I have 3 different brushes. I always use a large flat brush, a medium round brush, and a small round brush, but again, you can use whatever you like. If you have more or less, that's okay too. Materials also include a cup of paint water. Hopefully you're wearing, again, an apron. Thank you, Terry, as always, for the apron. Or just something you don't mind getting paint on, that's fine too. Hopefully you have a canvas or something to paint on, be it a wall or a piece of paper or something else. And I guess a towel or paper towel is handy as well to be wiping off your paintbrushes, so make sure you have that handy. Other places to find me if you're looking to follow me elsewhere, I'm erinbunpaints pretty much on every platform. So if you go to Facebook, for example, that's where you'll see all of my step-by-step tutorial events so that you can keep up with what I'm doing in the future. You can RSVP to events and kind of see what's coming up. So that's facebook.com/erinbunpaints. I'm on Instagram at instagram.com/erinbunpaints. That's where you can see all of my tutorial paintings as well as some personal artwork, some bullet journal spreads, things like that. Pinterest, I'm on Pinterest as well. Where else am I? I'm everywhere. I'm just everywhere. Twitter, but I hardly use it. Just search erinbunpaints wherever you want. Maybe I'm there, maybe I'm not. But yeah, feel free to follow me on all those other platforms. And I think that's all. Name suggestions. If you have name suggestions for the painting, I guess this is for Twitch only. Stick them in the chat right now, and I can review them and maybe name the painting after one of your suggestions. Cool. All right, I'll just do our little cheers and then we'll get started. All right, so let me bring this bad boy down here. We can paint along together. So the first thing we're going to do, everybody, is we're going to do the sky. We have some nice blues in the sky, and then we have kind of like a yellow-orange streakiness going on. So we want to cover some of this corner with kind of like a very medium blue, and then we're going to do a lighter blue closer to the yellows just so we don't make any green tones. So I'm using a large flat brush first. Hey Linda, yes you can. Thank you, Arcane. I have a YouTube channel where I post all of these later on, and you can also come back here on Twitch and the video is saved for a limited amount of time. So yes, yeah, absolutely. So I'm taking the large flat brush and I'm mixing together blue and white. Again, I specifically like phthalo blue, but you can use whatever blue you want. Phthalo blue just gives a really nice bright blue, and that's why I like it. Thanks, Wookie, for answering. Yes, exactly. Maybe a little more than a day or two, but yeah, thank you. It's always my goal. These days I'm taking longer than a day or two. I'd like to get back to that, but I don't know. Like I just started uploading the birds from like 2 to 3 weeks ago. Anyway, I'll get there. I'll get back there for sure. But yeah, Linda, yeah, YouTube is probably the place to be. You can see all of my past tutorials there already. So I'm just applying this, you can see in the top right corner. I'm kind of going on the corner, and I'm also bringing it across the top here. So you can see I'm kind of keeping it a little bit further up and to the right, again, away from where the sunshine is gonna be for now. Thank Thank you. Wookie knows. Wookie keeps track. Yeah, that's always what I used to say, and it is what I stuck to. At points, I was actually uploading the same day if I had an afternoon tutorial. Like on a Sunday, I noticed that. I went back and was looking at a couple, and yeah, there were one or two that I saw that I was like, same day? Oh my god, how did you do it? I had a lot less going on. Thank you, Wiki. Yeah, quality control. Let's not make promises we can't keep, for real. Yeah. She right though, Arcane, she right. She's right to call you out. Yeah. Wookiee's now quality control. So good. Alright, then I'm just mixing a little bit more white into the original blue that I had. So this medium blue, I just mixed a little more white, and I'm going to start to add that kind of below, maybe a little more to the left as well. So kind of bringing it down a bit over here, and just kind of hitting the edges of this medium blue that I started with. So I'm kind of blending as I go for this one. You can see I'm just wiping into the previous color, so it allows it to blend at the edge, but I'm also applying this, you can see, newer, lighter blue as well. So just stroking back and forth in between the two colors. You can see that's what blends them, and you'll get a little bit more of a soft blend. Standards. Erin's production to quit, so she's, yeah. I wasn't paying my editors enough. I was paying them an exposure and they didn't seem to like that, so they all quit on me. Who would have guessed? They didn't like the idea of a quick shout out as payment, so they all left. Oh, I would never. I would never. I've never had editors, please. Please! Yeah. If you know, you know. It's, that's a thing for real. But your name will be plastered at the end of the video. I swear I'll link your Instagram. That's all we need. I have a following, you know. What did I say I'd get? Oh yeah, the bun stickers. Yeah, some of you are just starting to notice these little guys on here. For those who've been watching along on Twitch, I've been kind of taking everybody through my progress in opening an art store / like making everything here, and that includes stickers. So I've been testing out some stickers. Using my Cricut, using my new printer that I have. I've done a little bit of that on stream, but also off stream recently I tested more stickers. I got some different papers and materials, and I did another like test while it was quiet without worrying about stream. And yeah, I made more stickers and I'm really liking them. So this was the first one, and you can, I don't know, it still looks good, but I thought he was a little thin. You can even see him kind of crinkly just because he's on top of this Starbucks logo. But this guy is a little bit thicker, and I really like him. So I found a better paper, and for the thinner paper, I'm gonna put clear laminate on top so that I can make glossy versions of the stickers as well. So kind of saved that old material, but also upgraded to a better one for the matte ones. Yeah, that's the story there. Everybody who's painting along, I'm just continuing to add a little bit of white to my blue, so just kind of keep doing that. And I'm just starting to bring this blue down to about halfway, but leaving this section open. I don't want to cover blue into where this sunshine is going to be, so you can kind of keep bringing it down maybe a little bit more as you lighten it. You kind of want a nice light blue area right beside where the sunset's going to be to make for easier blending. So I'm just kind of adding, you can see down here, and then I'll kind of shift a little further over as I come down on the other side. Just keep doing that. But yeah, progress is being made. Anne starts talking in third person about, yeah. They really have been behind these days. They've got a lot on their plate recently, guys. I can't expect them to just be uploading YouTube videos every 2 days, you know? We need to have a talk. We've been trying to plan out better, but sometimes things just don't work out, you know? And that's okay. That's okay. They need some personal time here and there too, so, you know, gotta understand. Yeah, one day. I was actually thinking about that recently, how I want to clean up my YouTube stuff, my YouTube videos. I've been using the same kind of like overlays and stuff for a while, you could say. Overlays, and like, I am fully aware that, for example, when I pop up my social medias, they don't look great on top of whatever they're on top of. Like, the background kind of eats them up. I need to redo those. The end card needs to be updated. Things like that. Things that, like, are pretty small and simple, just bottom of the list right now. Again, I've been really telling myself to prioritize what I want to prioritize, and even though that's something I want to do eventually, it's just not needed right now. The thing is that, like, it works right now. I can just keep using the same overlays and keep punching out those videos as fast as I can. And then once I have more time, I can really clean them up and get them closer to where I want them to be, so. Yeah. Okay, so you can see I'm starting to close in this area just a little bit, but still leaving it nice and open. I think this will be the last amount of blue that I add. So you can see I brought it now halfway down the canvas. I'm just leaving this slightly open. I'm trying to keep it nice and soft around these edges, so I'm using a very light blue and maybe just a little bit of paint, kind of like wisping it back and forth. Again, that'll help with blending the next colors together. Just very lightly along these edges. There we go. And again, the reason we're doing this, if I didn't explain earlier, is because we don't want the blue to be mixing with kind of the yellows and oranges and all that. But we still want them to appear blended, so I'm actually going to leave this for a little bit, and then we'll come back up and put on the yellows and oranges after. That way the blue can be nice and dry, and we can just kind of like sweep it over. But again, we still want this to be a soft edge because that'll help with the blended look later, right? Rather than keeping a harsh edge. So do your best to use that very light blue, just kind of whisk the brush back and forth on the tips of the bristles. I wonder if I'm teaching it the same way as I did originally. So again, for those who didn't hear me at the start, this was actually a commissioned piece for a private painting tutorial. And I didn't have it recorded, right? So I couldn't even like go back and look at how I taught it in the past. Sometimes I do that. If I am reteaching a painting that I created like a year ago, I'll just kind of relook and be like, how did I do that? I can still always figure it out. I'm just always wondering if I'll do it differently than original. So I don't know. We'll see. Hi, Hope! Welcome in, happy Friday. How have you been this week? I've been a little offline, so tell me about your week if you feel like it. Okay, so we're gonna leave this. Maybe I'll give like one more minute, but we will leave this, and the next step is actually gonna be to go down and add the water. I'm trying to decide if I did that last time, but that's okay. Both will work out. This is the safer way for sure, doing the water first, then going back up, so we can let this dry. Dang, it's hot! I have AC in here too, but it's so hot. I don't think it's doing its job. I'll check it out later. Okay, so I'll bring my plate back up here. So I'm going to start to mix together a nice blue for kind of the ocean area here. So we're going to start darker than we did before. You can see these two colors are a little bit different and a little bit darker. We're going to start darker, and we're going to make it a little more of a teal. If you really start to compare these colors, this has a little bit of a teal tinge. So we're going to add just a tiny bit of yellow to it so that it really differs from the sky. The sky is just a blue and light blue. This is more of a teal and light teal vibe. So let's take our brush. I need to pour yellow on here before I do this. You can start by mixing blue and white together. Maybe about like equal amounts, because we want a nice kind of like medium blue at the top, medium teal I should say. So blue, white, mix, 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 mix. And then wee bit of yellow. Again, the yellow will turn it a little more of a teal color. Happy Friday, week has been well. Happy the weekend is here, absolutely. I just got done eating kimchi. Oh, yum. Quite proud, good. Eat it yourself. How was your week? Anything new exciting? I was just talking about how I got vaxxed this week, and I haven't been online streaming for a week because we had an unexpected power outage due to a large storm here. So that was kind of a weird thing to happen. I don't know if I've ever canceled. I haven't canceled due to a power outage, so that was really weird to happen. But yeah, then I was vaxxed on Wednesday, I hope. So it's been a quiet couple days because I've been recovering. The thing hit me like a ton of bricks. That's what's been up with me this week. Mocap, really nice to see you. Hello. Hope you've been well as well. All right, so as you can see, everybody, I'm just adding this kind of near the top of this middle section here on the left. So you can see just in the original, this is maybe a little darker than the original, but going right along the top here. So no need to go all the way across because our beach will be going across and our boat will cover up that area. So just about halfway is what I would say, about halfway. Trying to get a nice straight line going. Maybe a little more just in case, but yeah, that's fine right there. And it's kind of similar to the sky. We're just going to add a little bit more white and bring it down a little bit more, just kind of blending as we go. And the other thing I'm keeping in mind of is the shoreline. So I want my shoreline, you can change it up if you want, but mine kind of cuts across like this. It'll eventually go right down to the bottom corner. So as I get lighter and move further down, I'm just going to make sure I'm bringing the water further over to the left. So I'm lightening with white and I'm also just kind of wiping back and forth with my brush. Again, trying to keep it a little more wispy on the edge here. You can see, so you can flick your brush out to the side. So going from left to right, left to right, left to right. That'll help keep it nice and soft rather than harsh lines. And just continuing to bring it down while I'm lightening it up. I love storms. Yeah, it was a crazy storm, dude. It's kind of scary, honestly, because I was driving in it for a minute and I could not see where I was going for a couple seconds in those minutes. I didn't stop though. I was told not to stop in that scenario, so I was just crawling. I was just going so slow, just being like straight down the road. I'm going straight. Do, 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 do. And I was very close to home, so it wasn't so bad. But yeah, tons of debris and stuff. Like, I saw it as it was happening, and the day after I went out to get some groceries. And there was debris everywhere. So it was kind of scary. Oh, we just had a baby mini thunder session. Super sad it's gone. Glad you got your power figured out. Yeah, when I lived in Arizona, we had such a bad storm 3 months since we were there for. Oh, wow. Yeah, nothing like a week. Imagine, you guys, I was like, I can't stream for a week just because my power's out. I'd be so frustrated, honestly. Like, this is crap. Wonder if I'd go find a solution. I'd go to someone else's home and be like, hi, can I use your internet? I miss everybody. Yeah, I'd be peeved. And just to note, everybody, it doesn't have to be a solid gradient all the way down. You can see I'm kind of bringing it down so it's going from dark to light, but if you want to put in some streaks, you know, like get a lighter color up in here, for example, just lightly blend it in, then you can get a little more of a streaky effect as well. So feel free to do that if you want. This paint, does that mean we're on a boat? Yeah. I think not. We see the boat. Are we on a boat on the beach? And then we just see the other boat going fast, yeah. Classic. This boat is real. So again, I'm leaving just a little bit of an open space here because my beach really cuts in at the end. So I just kind of left, again, a little gap down there. And I, yeah, streaked in a little bit more of a light turquoise there. At 40 minutes. Oh no, Hokey. 40 minutes of free time. Nope. Hope you get it back. Someday they repay you with those extra, what, half an hour, 20 minutes? Something like that. For my birthday, I want those 20 minutes that were taken from me that one Friday. Thank you. Dude, I just now noticed the boat in her paint. What? It's a boat on a beach, dude. When they move out here, it's all the minutes. And they stack up all the minutes, like, here you go. Oh, man. Alright, I'll give everyone a minute or two if you're still blending those nice teals, and then we're gonna go back up here and do our nice sunset colors. This should be dry enough that we can kind of blend a little on top of it and around it. It'll just make it safer. It's not impossible to put the color on when the blue is wet, but it'll make it a little easier. Hey Gertie, what's up? How have you been this week? I've been offline for a week, so it's been weird. Hey Sandy. Oh, Travis, hello as well. Yes, Travis is always welcome to say hi. Hello, hello. Hope you both been good. Travis, I hope you had a good birthday. Joke's on them, I get to go get my hair done tomorrow. Joke's on them. Hours and hours of kid free time. Sorry, I messed up your hair. That's okay. That's okay, just do it again. Take all the time you need. Need to fix it? Go ahead again. Still no haircuts in my area. My region is left out. No lie, all of Ontario can get their haircut as of Wednesday. I cannot. Anyway. Good, I'm glad Travis had an awesome birthday. Jules, howdy, welcome in. How's it going? Gertie, I've been good getting trained for a new— Oh, really? Okay. What's that, Gertie, if you want to talk about it? You were at Target last time we were talking about jobs. I'm not sure if you've moved on since then. Target would be a dream. Travis is Sandy's son, Sweet Mama 37. That's Sandy, and then Travis is her son. I guess it's confusing because I'm speaking to Sandy and you're like, there is no Sandy in this chat, what's going on? I try and learn the names, but I understand it's confusing sometimes. We call people just different names. Yeah, it's all stacking up. Everyone's like, who is she talking to? Half the people are here and half the people are in her head. I don't think I knew that, Sharon. Hello to Travis too, then. I still work at Target, but now sometimes I tell people what to do, have more responsibilities, and get paid the same. Really? They don't up your pay? But I get more hours. I guess that's a plus if that's what you're looking for. Huh. Why wouldn't they raise your pay? That's kind of annoying, Gertie, honestly. Is there any negotiation available at Target where you could be like, hey guys, here's what I'm doing. Why are you paying me the same? I'm sure someone's brought it up, but just curious. Yeah, we're just all Travis. He's laughing now. We're all you, Travis. We're all connected. Alright, that should be enough time for the water. If not, you can keep working on it, but I'm gonna move on now to the sky here. So I want to create a nice soft kind of sunset look. We have a nice blue sky right now, but we want to put some yellows and then some nice oranges and eventually a sunshine there. So first I'm going to work on the yellows because those kind of border the sunshine area. They kind of go next to the light blues and maybe streaked in a tiny bit. So I'm going to grab yellow and white and mix those together. I'm just going to use my large flat brush. For those who have seen me paint before, you know I usually like to mix a little white in my yellow, even if it's not really changing the shade, so like not making it super light yellow. It just helps with my paint. My yellow is very transparent, so adding even a little bit of white will help with that. So again, I still want it nice and bright, but I do add a little bit of white just for transparency reasons. All right, I don't know if you saw, but maybe not. I wiped a little off because I didn't want a huge amount on my brush because I want to apply it nice and softly, so I'm just lightly wiping back and forth. Very lightly swiping. And then yeah, that way it looks like it just lightly kind of rests on top. It's not really mixing, so it's not creating that green tone, right? Maybe a tiny bit in there, but not as much as it would if it was actually mixing with the blue. So I don't mind it having a little bit of a tone. But yeah, just lightly wiping at the edge of the blue and wiping maybe a little into the blue just to make it look a little more blended, even though we're just softly dry brushing on top. Going all around the edge here. If you want to be a little daring, or maybe you don't mind that little tinge that's going on, you can of course bring this a little bit over, like into the blue, because again, the blue is dry. So maybe you want like a streak over here. I think I put a little streak over here, and just very lightly wiping. That's what's going on here. I don't have a lot of paint on the brush. I'm lightly wiping back and forth. Maybe a little up here, just kind of separated. Yeah, it all makes it look just streaky and a little more blended as well. I'm gonna keep adding just little bits at a time. I think they used to raise pay, but they got rid of it years ago, although one of my bosses likes me, so maybe I can get his position and get paid more. Oh, that would be nice. So maybe one more promotion / upgrade and then you're there. That would be really nice, Gertie. That's wild. I shouldn't be too surprised because I feel like a lot of workplaces do that, just the whole idea of like more responsibility, same position or pay, you know, like somebody quits, take their job, but stack it onto yours with no extra pay. So I guess I'm always just surprised when it's a more well-known company like that that's hiring so many people. You think they'd figure that out a little bit? treat their people right. But I am glad you're enjoying it enough to stick around there, Gertie, too. I know some people aren't a fan of retail, but I feel like Target has a little bit more of a nice work environment from what I've heard. So. Yeah, and I know about Travis's birthday because Sandy was sharing some baked goods that she was making in the Discord. I think it was around one of our celebrations too. Oh, it would have been, I think it was for the 1 year because I was making cupcakes that same time. I was like, I baked too! We're baking together! For those who joined in a little later than at the start, I think I said it at the start, but I'll say it again. Just as a reminder, just speaking of our 1 year subathon, I'll be continuing that tomorrow. Not continuing the actual subathon, to be clear. I'm not taking money to stream longer. Oh my gosh, I already streamed 16 hours that day. I don't need to add more. 14. I don't want to exaggerate. It was 14 hours. Or was it 16? No, it was 14. Yeah, 10 to 12 midnight. Anyway, we still need to do chat controls painting a little bit because I didn't do everybody's requests. I still have them in the queue, do not worry, so you don't even need to remember your requests. I have it all there in the queue. And then I'm doing a chicken noodle transformation after that. And that's all tomorrow! So if you missed out on that celebration or wanted to see more of that, or maybe your request was kind of stuck in queue for the chat controls painting, that one right there, then again, I will be continuing that tomorrow. Starting at 11 EST as usual on Saturdays. More says no. Yeah, I shouldn't even have said like I'm continuing the subathon. I'm just continuing the activities of the subathon. 11th of June, gotcha. Okay, baking cupcakes, I got it. Yeah, it's right around when we were having our celebrations, so that does make sense. And tomorrow I'll do a quick little marbles round for those who are in the June raffle. July! Oh my god, it's July. Ah! July raffle for a free 10 by 10. Once again, I'm almost at the end of that queue, but now we're gonna add July, so this is gonna be never ending. It's cool though. I love doing the 10 by 10s. Yeah, so I'll do the little marbles round for that. You don't have to be present for that. For those who are in that raffle, I will contact you when the time comes if you are chosen via marble, and yeah, to set up a date when that time comes. I only have 2 more in queue. Yes, 2 more in queue, and then we're right into the July. I know, right? Yeah, tear, happy smile. It's I don't know if my emotion is happy smile. It's like I saw someone do a mashup of emojis, Gertie, and one was like the really wide-eyed, like, I don't know if he's like the embarrassed face or whatever, wide-eyed and just like straight mouth. But then they did that and added a smile to it and a little sweat, like a little sweat tear, and I was like, that's me. The wide eyes and just like smiling through it with a little sweat tear. It was just like, that's kind of how I feel about that. Enchiladas. Let us know how they are. Were they like a sale item, Todd? Oh yeah, I might try and catch that one. Getting my hair done, although this is, maybe that's bad luck. Uh-oh. Do you want your marble name something else again, Hokie? I don't think it's bad luck. Come on. Pineapple margarita flavor wine based. That's a lot of words. That's a lot of words. Okay, it's a cocktail. Flavored wine based cocktail. Okay. It sounds yummy either way, Todd. I don't know what to classify it as, but yeah, cocktail, I guess. Alright, so I'm good with the yellow. I'll give everyone another minute just in case you're adding yellow, but basically we'll go back in with orange next and just kind of stick within the yellow, so a little bit easier blending-wise. Really, it's not the name? What if you do when you're not here? I'll be so sad, honestly, Oki. I'll be like, this is a disgrace. The marbles actually take into account you're here, and they're like, when she's not here, we'll win. Just be here, but be silent, maybe. Trick the marbles. You can lurk, and then when you win, be like, take that! How many do we have for tomorrow? I think it's around 7? Yeah, there's 7 of you for tomorrow. Pokey Grokey, James, Arcane, Sharon, Ashen, Marion. Got, yeah, 2 coming up before then. Okay, to do. Cool. Going to hop off and have a— oh, sounds good! Hope you have a good movie night. A great night. Yes, thank you very much, Sandy. And Travis, see you. Both of you enjoy your movie. Grape wine with natural flavors, okay. Being pineapple margarita flavor, yeah. With some rubbing alcohol casual, just slotted in there. Alright, let's mix together an orange and add that to the sunset. So I'm going to pour a little red on my plate using the same brush. Again, you can switch brushes if you want to get a little more particular, but I do like this brush for background stuff and just kind of lightly wiping on top. So I'm going to mix together yellow with just a little bit of red. I don't want it too fiery orange. I want it just the nice kind of medium orange. So there it is there. And I am adding a touch of white just again because of my transparency issue with my yellow. I find this helps a little bit. Thank goodness, honestly. That one time in chat, I don't think it was anyone who stuck around. Someone was claiming that drinking rubbing alcohol was fine, and I was like, excuse me, I don't think so. Please don't spread that in here. Like, yeah, happens all the time. I was like, no, probably shouldn't though. Okay, and I'm just adding the orange, you can see, right in the middle of the yellow, so I'm lightly wiping back and forth as usual, kind of flicking my brush at either end this time, so kind of on the left, kind of on the right. You can see, again, it helps it look a little softer and blended. If you want to blend it even more, you could try and just like mix it into the yellow on your canvas, but if the yellow's a little dry, you won't be able to do that, so you might have to grab a little yellow on your brush and kind of touch it up on the sides, which I think I'll do because mine's looking a little bit choppy in my opinion. I like it a little streaky here and there, but I do like it a little softer than I'm seeing, so I'll show you that in a second. For now, I'm just filling up the middle, kind of going up as I go left and right. And same thing if you want to add this kind of elsewhere, you can kind of streak it in here and there. Hopefully me and Grok have our day victory someday. At least Grok has one though, Hoki has none. That's what I'm thinking. Grok can at least look at her chicken noodle, you know, and dream of a second. Hoki's like, I've got 0 though. Yeah, Wookie, you're right. Who did that? I don't remember. I don't think it's anyone who stuck around, but they were like going on a little bit too much. Like I thought they were memeing and joking about it, and then I realized that they certainly weren't, and I was like, oh, I should tell them that that's not a thing. Yes, there is a difference for sure, Gertie. Yes, this is a good thing to learn. Don't be drinking rubbing alcohol. Don't drink yet, but I imagine that's what alcohol tastes like because that's what it smells like. It honestly doesn't taste that bad, so that's good. Yeah, there's a difference. I'm glad you know. Yeah, you can see how bright this is, and I want to tone it down a little bit, so I'm just going to add a couple little streaks of orange, kind of just like further out a little bit, very lightly. You can see just lightly kind of touching and brushing back and forth. To add. Alright, then I'm going to blend this out a bit. So if you want it a little more blended, I'm just grabbing a little yellow on my brush after washing it off. And then I'm just kind of brushing left and right beside the orange, so kind of going into the yellow, and that'll help soften it up a little bit more and kind of blend it in a little bit more. A little yellow, even the yellow white. I'm going to add a tiny bit of white to that. Kind of go back and forth. There we go, soften it up a bit. It softens and blends it, so it all kind of, yeah, erases the edges a little bit more. See that? It's looking a little better. So I do a little bit of both, because like I said, I like it a little streaky. I just don't want it fully streaky. Can't make up my mind, basically, so I want both. Why not both? Rice has individual grains, not completely mush. Oh, that's good, Todd. Yeah, it feels bad, man, I know. No worries, Lori, no worries. Have a good time doing what you gotta do. I'll be online probably till 10:30 as usual, because I usually wrap up by 10 and stick around a little bit, so maybe I'll see ya. Yes. Some sugar alcohols that are used in place of actual sugar. Right. And they make you poop. Yep, there it is. They have a laxative effect. There you are. Yes, I've learned this. Not personally, just from online. My sugar-free gummies don't have that. But I know there's a particular one on Amazon that does. I see you, battery. And it's literally in the reviews that people will comment on the side effects of the gummy bears. Pretty in detail as well, so they don't hold back. I'm exhausted. Oh, it did go back to dark. Okay, that's fine. I can fix that. I can operate cameras now. Whee! Look at that. Nice and bright. Cool. Alright, and I think I'm good with blending. Again, nice streaks, but also some nice softness. So I'm gonna leave that for about a minute in case anyone's still going, and then we can do our nice beach area next. Keep this in mind, yes. Okay. Oh yes, Hokie knows. Yeah, there was at least one, I think, that, yeah, went viral. But I think even if you go back now, there's probably more that exist. Oh, okay. Just tell it as it is, Cindy, right? Like, they might as well. It's what they should call them. Be honest to your consumers. Yeah, I don't know. I have the, what are they called? Smart Sweets, and they don't seem to have any of those side effects on me. Smart Sweets are good. You have the Swedish fish and all that. Oh, they're so yummy. Alright, you can wash off your brush in preparation. I'm still going to use this large brush. I want to do the beach area next. So we'll be doing a fair amount of mixing for the sand color. It's like a nice beige tone. Get out of here, hair. I don't want you in my painting. Need more yellow. The three colors you'll need for beach color are yellow, red, and white. Mostly white. We want a really nice light beach tone. Well, depending on what you want. I always say that there's lots of different sand colors, lots of different like beach colors. I usually go for more of the, you can see, like very beigey light sand. Kind of like the white beach in a way. But yeah, there's lots of different kinds. There's some that are more kind of red pinky tone. Of course, you can go darker, so do whatever you want. Everyone will probably have a different beach tone. Get out of here! Good one. I should have said that. Why didn't I? We'll buy again. Excellent. Food review. Alright, let's get to mix in. So I'm going to use the large flat brush, as I already said before, but I'll say it one more time. I'm using just a wee bit of yellow. I'm actually going to wipe off a little bit and mix it into the white. I'm kind of starting off with a super, super pale yellow. As you can see. And then we're going to add just a tiny bit of red as well. Just a little bit. A little bit of red, a little bit of yellow. We don't want it just light yellow. We don't want it light pink. We want it somewhere in between. So very light. Again, I go for a super light beach. You can make it a little darker by adding more red and yellow. You can even play around by adding a little bit of black in there as well. Just to make it more of like a gray tone, you know, just to kind of dirty it up a bit in a way. Kind of darkens it while also changing a little bit of the tone. And if you're ever kind of unsure about how it looks, sometimes it is easier to look at it on a canvas. I find sometimes it's kind of tricky. I'm looking here and I'm like, that's not right. And then I put it on like, oh, I like that. I'm just gonna add maybe a little more red to that and then go for it. So yeah, feel free to try it on your canvas. You can always paint over top, right? If you change your color a little bit, just go on top, go around it, blend it in. This is pretty dang close to what I want here. I think I just need a little more red again. A little more pink. I think that's good. Okay, so I'm just going to cover this whole area, the remaining area, with this beigey beigey sand color. You do not need to blend into the blue. You can just kind of, once again, wipe into the blue. The blue should now be dry. So you can see I'm just, when I reach the edge, I'm just swiping over to the left this time. You can overlap the blue a little if you want, and that'll actually help with kind of a soft edge. Keep in mind though, we will be adding some extras on top, so if you have a little bit of messiness in here, I wouldn't worry too much about it. We'll probably cover it up. Where did this come from? Not my hair. Okay, fine. Da 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 da. If you've not had a frozen beer, take off your monocle and go get one. Pineapple margaritas too. No, would not buy again. Shoot, it sounded so yummy though. This is a beige tone, Charlene. So again, that was lots of white, little bit of yellow, and little bit of red. Mixing that together to create any sort of sandy color. I like to have a nice light beige for my sand color, but if you add more yellow and red, you can get a little bit of a darker color, or you can even add a little bit of black if you want, but I just keep to the same 3 colors there. I will add black later when I want to do the kind of brown, kind of darker tones in the beach. So you can see covering up this whole area. Lovely beach tone. Yeah, again, sand colors tend to be tricky. Just, it's more so doubt, I find, when people are trying to do a beach color. Sometimes they have it, and again, they're a little nervous about it just because you're mixing so many colors. So many, meaning 3. 3 can just be overwhelming, right? You're like, which one do I add more of if it's looking like this? And that's where it gets a little confusing and hectic, so just keep pushing through. Like I said, just keep adding it to your canvas, kind of mixing things around, trying again. But for me, the savior is just a lot of white. You can see as long as you're using a lot of white, you can't tell as much what the actual color is. It's just a really pale, nice color. So if you like a nice light sandy beach, then you should be okay with lots of white and just tiny amounts of each of those colors. When you start to get into more like particular medium tone colors, you'll have a little more trouble, I guess. Alright, so again, I'm just trying to cover up any white spots. And if I overlap with the blue a little, that's okay. That'll just keep it nice and soft. It'll be a little easier later on. We will be covering that with some white foam and some darkened sand, but even just keeping it nice and soft for now, it'll help us later. You can even keep it like this too. That's a little bit of a nicer, just kind of like open area doing that, but I'll add some details later on. Now, this blue turned out much darker than the original. That's okay. Kept it a lot softer. A lot softer. More yellow too, that's what ended up happening too. More yellow in there to make it more teal. That's okay. I always add too much red to the beach color. It makes it a little more pinky, I guess. That's okay too. Depends on what you want. Sounds like you don't want it as much red hokey, but that's alright. There's some, I always reference, people keep telling me there's beaches like in the east coast of Canada that have kind of like a red velvet type tone. That's even darker with lots of red. Hey Lexi, what's up? Hey, really nice to see you. It's been a while. What have you been up to? Give a nice big smile. Hello. Abby as well, finally back. Hello, nice to see both of you. Hope you're both well. We're doing a step-by-step painting tutorial right now. So welcome in. I'm chatting as I do it as usual, so it's really nice to see you both. Pink beach. Honestly, it sounds nice. Yeah, nice like pink sandy beach. I vibe with it, yeah. Working and a lot more on top of it. How are you? I've been good too, thanks Alexi. Yeah, still streaming a lot. As of, I guess, other than this week, I should say, we had a power outage on Tuesday and just a couple other busy things this week, so been weird being offline for a week, but that's okay. Yeah, just doing my streaming and painting and stuff, working on opening up an art shop, so that's kind of my big update. Not solidified yet, but I'm getting close. I've got a lot of stuff in my living room, so I must be getting close. I've got a lot of packing materials in my living room now. Everything's too much, man. The space is running out. And I started reorganizing my paintings. That's something I started doing today because I need to choose which paintings I'm like taking pictures of to make prints. So I'm gonna start doing that like next week, this week, next week, next week. I'm selecting which paintings I'm going to be putting up on the store. So I need to look through all of my paintings and decide which ones I want, and then take some nice photos of them, and then upload them, and probably edit them a little bit so the color matches the actual painting, and put them on the website. And that'll be pretty much it. Yeah. You been painting? That's good to hear, Abby. I'm glad. So proud of myself tonight. I've been remembering to paint the edges. Oh, good. And I haven't been reminding you either, Sharon, so that's all you. I realized I did not remind everybody of that today. So good for you. Paint your edges, everybody. If you're not doing that, do that now. You still have a chance. You always have a chance. I sometimes do it after I'm done the whole painting. But anyway, it's easier to do it while you're painting. I'm just going in and touching up this top edge here of the sand. This will be mostly covered up. We have some trees here. We have the boat, of course, but just in case any gaps peek through, I'm just going to do a nice little ledge here. So that's what I'm doing over the next minute or so. Yeah, Sharon, I have to constantly remind myself, especially when I do the 10 by 10s. It's just so much easier to do edges as you're going. And instead I leave them all undone. I see two there that are sitting there without edges done. I have to like re-get out my paints and try and color match a little bit, and anyway. Yeah, easy peasy, totally. I need painting ideas. I have to make 5, you have 15? Make by the, I have to make 15 by the, why is that, Abby? Are you doing something special with them? Was there a request? Looks much nicer when they are hung up. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, especially when I'm giving out the 10 by 10 Sharon, I want to make sure they're like ready to hang, so I do all the edges up, and I will be doing that to any of my paintings that don't have edges, aka like all of them now that I'm looking at them. Yeah, I'll be painting up all the edges. I think that's important when I'm selling to make sure it's all clean in case you want to hang it without a frame. Or frame it and hide the edges, but yeah, I think it's way easier and nicer. Yeah, so a request, Abby, or is that like a, you have an event to make them for? What's it about? How big are the paintings too? Lots of questions for me today. Okay, I'm going to play with the water a bit more, and then we're gonna move a little more onto the beach and actually do, I think we'll do kind of the boat area, and then we'll play around with the details. Excuse me. I'm gonna switch brushes. I'm gonna use the medium round brush, and I'm going to start to do kind of the little ripples in the water here. You can see lots of little kind of darker teal ripples, some little white ripples for a nice little glitter from the sun. So I just want to add those in before we go in with the white here. So I'm going to use the medium round brush. I'm going to go into the teal that I was using kind of near the top here, and I'll make it a little bit darker just by adding a little more blue to it. I just want to make a teal that's a little bit darker than any teal I used up here. So if my teal is here, I'm just going to add a little extra blue. Maybe a little yellow just because it probably drowned out the yellow part of it. That's going to be a nice deep dark teal. And I'm just using the tip of the brush and kind of doing some back and forth lines. Thin lines in the water here. So some nice long lines, some shorter lines. Using a nice light hand, they come off a little thinner. I'll bring those all the way down. I might reduce them a little bit as I get further to the bottom here, just because it's a little bit lighter. We don't want to see these dark streaks as much. Maybe a little bit smaller as they get closer to us. But yeah, it just shows a little bit of movement in the water. It's not just standing still. It is a calm day, it seems like, but we still want some waves coming in for the turtles, right? Let's continue that. 8 by 10s. Okay, so a little bit smaller than what I'm used to. That's still a lot of paintings though, Abby. You don't know what you're gonna paint? Oh, really, Sharon? Okay, you could even like make a day out of it, honestly, and just do like a fun little color matching type painting session. Just mixing a bunch of small little colors and painting the edges, because you don't even have to color match like the whole painting, right? I personally like to bring over each color on each edge, but some people like to just choose one color and do a big bold, you know, border with it all, which looks nice too. Like I could take the teal and just go all the way around. Some people do black, for example, and just do a nice black border all the way around. Looks a little sleeker. Yeah, any option I think is nice. I'll definitely be doing that personally. I'll be making probably half a day out of just going around to all my paintings and be like edge, 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 touching them all up. Usually paint my edges because I end up leaving white at the edges on the top if I don't. Right, yeah, that's true. It just kind of helps to bring it all the way around, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, Sushi! Welcome in. Adding our little ripples to the water. Egg. Bot! I did not take that command away. That's Bot's fault. Huh, that's weird, Hokey. Try again. Bot, hello? I never thought of doing just one color. Yeah, of course. It might make it a bit easier, a little less daunting, right? If you're just like, just one color. Choose a couple paintings with like the same bold color. And you could do a couple at a time with one, maybe. Add a little bit more, I think. Which color did you use for sand? I mixed 3 colors. Oh, no worries, Sushi. Yeah, I explained it a little earlier, but in case you need a reminder, now that you're doing it while watching YouTube, hello future Sushi, I mixed together lots of white with a tiny bit of yellow and a tiny bit of red. Creates this nice kind of light beige color. I was just saying earlier though how there's many different sand colors, so if you have something a little different than mine or very different than mine, that's okay. As long as you like your peach, that's totally fine. I was saying some might even use a little bit of black to darken it up too, just a touch, right? Just a tiny, tiny bit. I was saying I don't use any black until I do the darker sand personally, but yeah, to each their own. Hey, you probably didn't notice I was gone, but I was because the power in my house. Oh, it was out for a few minutes. Oh, that's okay, Max. Yeah, I'm never looking at lurkers, so I would never know or call you and be like, he left without saying bye. No worries. Glad it's back on. I was saying earlier how mine was out for quite a long time on Tuesday. It was 6 hours? 5:30, right? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. A couple of minutes ain't so bad. Hopefully it stays on though. Is there a storm right now, Max? Yeah, no worries, Sushi. Yeah, that's the only 3 that I use, and I really like this sand color, so it really depends what you like. I think the key is using a lot of white though, Sushi. As long as you're adding tons and tons of white, it should be okay. Could put smiley faces on the edges, true. Just like dot dot smile, dot dot smile. Everyone would smile at your painting, absolutely. Oh, Gertie, that's so cute. Oh, light peach. So peach I would say is maybe adding a little bit more red. I think peach is more so like white with red and then the tiniest amount of yellow, so I would maybe even it out by adding a little more yellow and even a little more white as well, because I think peach as well is like a little darker than this. I don't know. This is called peach on my finger here. It's called Peach Side Babe, LOL. So much darker. It's hailing. Yeah, we had hail on Tuesday. Okay, no worries, Max. Stay safe. I hope your power stays on. Alright, after adding those teal little streaks, I'm just gonna add a few little white ones, so I want to glitter them just in the middle where the sunshine will be. So I've washed off my brush and grabbing a little bit of white. And I'm just using the tip of the brush again and just doing some small little lines. I'm keeping these ones a little bit smaller, a little more kind of glittery looking, right? They're all just small little glittery reflections of the eventual sun that we'll put above. Keeping them kind of wherever I want the sun to be. Mine's gonna be right here. And bringing them down just a little more. Linda, hey, thanks for the follow. I know we were chatting earlier, but thank you for following. Following will give you notifications via email or the Twitch app, whatever you prefer, when I'm online, so it's helpful to keep up to date with what I'm doing, because I stream more than just Fridays, so if you're ever interested in checking out what I'm doing throughout the week, you can do that. So thank you very much for that. A little louder. Is anyone else having volume issues? It looks like my mic is like pretty much max, Charlene, when I'm looking at like what's coming through the speaker on everybody's end, if that makes sense. Like it's maxing out in the green area. Anyone thinking I'm a little quiet? Thank you. Okay, just want to keep it consistent. I'll speak maybe a little louder, Charlene. I just don't want to boost the volume and make it different for everybody here. Alright, I think that's enough little glittery bits in the water, so I'll give again an extra minute. Think you would as well. Confirmations are nice. Yeah, next we're going to add the sun just so we can complete that whole area. It would be sad to have the glitters without the sun, so we gotta put the sun in. I'll be using the same brush as well. That's one thing I forgot to write down. I want to test these with water. I want to see if they run with water. They've been okay on the water. I've had these on for like 2 weeks now and they've been pretty good. Not to say like it's dripping down with water, but they're looking fine. The buns are looking good. Doing a great job. Alright, let's go in for the sun here. I'm going to use the same medium round brush and I'm going to mix together lots of white with a tiny bit of yellow this time. Go on to very, very light sunshine. Oh, you know what? There's a little blue in my brush and it's like leaking in there. It's turning it green. Yuck! Just gonna give that a good wash again. Okay. Lots of white with a little bit of yellow. Let's try that again with no blue in there. Very light tone. Excuse me. Okay, and I don't want too much paint on my brush because I want this a little softer, right? You can see how we kind of softly put in the sun, like it's kind of peeking out from clouds maybe, and then I'm going to do some streaks there. So just a little bit of paint for all of that. So I'm going to tap it off a little on my towel. And then I'm going to kind of circle around right above the horizon line here. I want to keep it just so it's just above. Like that. So I'm just trying to use just a little bit of paint, kind of sweeping around. You can see it's getting a little softer on the edges because there's less paint on my brush. Just to kind of fade it out a little bit more. And I don't mind going over top of the blue because it's almost like just kind of the rays coming down. We have kind of the sunshine and then kind of the surrounding bits. So I'm just moving it a little bit on top of the blue as well. You just painted your hair on your right side. Uh-oh! Could be the headphone cord. I feel no wetness. I feel no wetness. This is my right. I think the camera's flipped. Either way, I think I'm good. Unless you think I missed it, Allie. Thank you. That was lots of white, little bit of yellow, Charlene. Becca, you're just too popular. Don't call me. Turn off your phone. Just ditch it. Oopsie, I lost it. I can't talk for the evening goodbye. Okay, quick unrelated personal question that will make no sense but will help me decide. Sure. Gold or holographic blue silver? Ooh, that's tough. I like both of those. I wanted to say gold at first, and then I saw the holo and that got me. Holographic blue silver is more fun. Let's go with that one. I think that's a little more fun. Yeah, Allie's on my side here. And it's a little more different. I don't know what it's for, but I think gold is common. Holographic blue silver is unique. Thank you. Alright, so I'm using the same color again. That was, again, lots of white, little bit of yellow. And I'm going to start to do some little rays coming out. So I'm just going to very lightly kind of wipe over here to the right, maybe top right, maybe do a little like coming down. And I'm going straight from the middle, so as long as you're going from the middle, you can just sweep whatever way you want. Just helps make the sun a little more glowy. And yeah, I don't go all the way around just so it's not like glowing everywhere. Maybe doing a couple streaks in one little area, moving on. Very softly, so there was barely any paint on here. I really tried to wipe it off, and I'm just hardly touching the brush so that only a little bit's coming off as well. So again, you can kind of peek it over top maybe. So coming over here, I'll grab a tiny bit more on my brush. Sorry, Abby, I'm not understanding. White for the sand? There's lots of white in the sand, I'm just not sure what that first word is. Alright, Hoki, okay. Okay. I don't know about that laugh, though. I thought you were gonna tell us what it's for. I thought you were choosing a nail polish color. That was my guess. Maybe a teeny bit more. Just maybe like lightly on the sides here. You can make it as glowy as you want. You can like circle it out more if you want just an overall glow as well. I think I'll maybe add a little bit more to the middle. I want it maybe a little brighter in the middle. So I'm just adding a little more paint and circling. You can see how that kind of thickened it up, brightened it up. That should be good. Alright, nice kind of faded sunshine, very glowy and light, foggy sunshine. So I get more glow on this side. Cool, I'll leave that for a minute. Alright, keep us suspended fun. What colors for the sand? Lots of white, tiny bit of red, tiny bit of yellow. And I find like any combination of those is fine, just using lots and lots of white. You can use a tiny bit more red or a tiny bit more yellow, and that'll get you different beige colors. Alright, so I'm going to add the boat next. Again, I don't know what order I did everything in when I first did this, but it doesn't really matter at this point. There's like a couple things that kind of go on top of one another, but I'm gonna go for the boat next. I think I'm gonna do the boat, and then we'll do maybe the trees or something. We'll see what we decide. Alright, so let's do, maybe we'll do boat and then sand. Oh my goodness. Let's do the boat. So if you want a nice beached boat on your painting, we're going to start to add the boat. We do a couple layers for the boat because we want it to be a really nice bright white. So we're going to start with just one coat of white, we'll let it dry, then we'll do a second coat, of course, on top, and even a third if you need, but I think I did 2 for this one and it was fine. Usually 2 coats is the key to getting a nice bright color on here. So my boat is beached, so it's going to be on the beach, of course. It starts just about halfway, I would say, so right where my ocean is meeting my sand here, and I'm going to start it right around the horizon line. It kind of like starts a little lower than comes up at the other end, so I'm going to start again right at the horizon line here at the back left end of the boat. I'm using the medium round brush, of course, and white paint if I didn't say that already. It kind of bends a little bit down and then starts to come up for the other end and ends off above the horizon line. Right around here. So I am trying to leave some room for some palm trees later. That's why I'm leaving a little bit of a gap here. And again, you can leave whatever gap you want or bring it over as far as you want. I'm gonna try that, and I'm gonna do the rest of the boat to see how it's looking, and I can always make it longer. If you're never sure about how big to make something, always try it a little smaller, and then you can always make it bigger. So I'm gonna start here, and I can always extend if I want. Yeah, for the rest of the boat, I'm just doing the back end now, so I'm just kind of coming down a little bit to the right, so it kind of bends in a little bit. Not much, just a short little line. Did you let the sand dry before you did the ocean? Sorry. Oh, no worries, Abby. You're always welcome to watch it back, but I actually did the ocean first. I let the ocean dry, and then I did the sand, yes. I would recommend letting them dry before kind of Not really blending on top, but dry brushing on top, because the sand color and the blue color are going to make kind of a murky color, and you want it a little softer and cleaner, I would say there. So whatever you end up doing first, you could do either one first, but I would let it dry for sure. There are ways around it, but it involves some extra steps. Alright, so I brought it down a little bit, and I'm going to bring it pretty much straight over. You can kind of give it a little wiggle if you want, because it is in the sand. So maybe the sand is kind of like, you know, a little bit bumpy on the bottom edge, so it doesn't need to be perfectly straight. And then on the right-hand side, it's kind of the same thing. We're just kind of doing a nice straight line coming down to the left this time, so it's pinching in, right? Pinching in, not right. Pinching right would be the other way. It is going left. Hey, Lynn! Miss you this week. Oh, yes, Lynn! Yes, I was saying at the start of stream we had a power outage on Tuesday, so that's why I wasn't online Tuesday. I'm sorry, I updated the Discord and I tried to update my about section on Twitch to say power outage or whatever, but I understand that maybe some missed it. But yes, I'm perfectly fine. I just had a 6-hour power outage on Tuesday and it was right before I was supposed to start stream, so it was very unfortunate. But it was okay, it was a nice little relaxed break time for me, honestly, so wasn't too upset, but I realized it was a little weird because that meant I was offline till Friday as well, so I kind of realized that after it happened. I was like, whoa, uh-oh. Alright, so I'm just shaping up my boat a little bit more. You can see the basic shape is there. I'm just choosing to make it maybe a little bit longer. I still want it maybe a little longer, so I'm gonna go from this end and maybe make it a little kind of bigger as well, a little taller. Yeah, just adjust your boat as you like. That's why I always suggest making it a little small at the start. It's very easy to make longer. As you can see, I'm just extending the back a wee bit more. That's looking better. I think that's actually a great size. So I'm just filling it in with white at this point here. And yeah, don't be fooled. If you see a little bit of transparency, I would avoid caking on the paint. I find a lot of people just say, okay, I'll add more paint and it'll be fine. I would rather add a thinner coat of paint, so that's why you see me doing some large streaks right now, just kind of thinning it all out, trying to make it nice and even. I think it's better to let it dry, and then you can do a second coat on top. And honestly, it doesn't look that bad on camera, but I definitely see some transparency there, so I know it's hard to leave, but you gotta leave it alone, let it dry, and then you can do a second coat on top. Don't be sorry, I have my sources. Lol, got friends on Twitch. Oh, okay, no worries. All good. Lynn, you got lots of friends. Yes, absolutely, we're all fine here. Thank you, yes, very peachy tones. I got 2 different colors, actually. They kind of look the same in the camera, but this is more of an orange and this is more of a peach. Thank you, I did it today. After doing some work, I was like, I'm gonna do my nails now. Thank you, yeah. Figure it's very summery, right? Goes with the peach theme of my my bullet journal, actually, too. Got lots of peach things going on recently. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, how's your week been, Lynn? I know it's been a week. It's been a week since I've been on. I hope you've been staying cool and everything. I know we're not as hot as the West Coast, but we're still quite hot, so. Yeah, I'll give a quick minute if anyone's shaping up their boat. And again, we're just doing the white part. You don't need to worry about the green detail or the gray detail. We'll do all that later. Oh yeah, no worries, Lynn. Good week. That's good. That's good. Yay. Oh, are you, Gertie? No way! That makes me so happy. Are you doing a theme this month? I just did Peach's theme last Saturday. I really like the theme. Oh, I did a weekly spread this week. I'm so happy with it. I need to take some pictures and blur out all my personal stuff so that you guys can see. I'll do that soon. I'm sure that'll be my next Instagram post. So I try and alternate between paintings and bullet journaling, for those who don't know. Yes! Aw, thank you, Lynn, thanks. Yeah, I just love all the colors. It's a very nice color scheme too, honestly, even without the actual theme of peach. It was peach and picnic, technically. Yeah, just the color scheme, because I incorporated some golds and some like kind of yellows in there too. Oh, really love it. Pinks and stuff. Yes. By Steven Universe, but not technically a Steven Universe theme. Oh, I'm not aware. Steven Universe. That's cool. I like that though, Gertie, where it's like, yeah, okay, I've got sunset colors. Okay, yeah, I like that. I like pulling from things, even just color schemes, you know? You do that very easily. Like doing your favorite kind of like animated show, but not doing it fully themed that way. Yeah, that's good, that's good. Sunset colors are always a win. Nice warm colors. Beautiful. Okay, so we've got our boat. Yeah, I think I'll do the dark sand next, and then we can let that dry and do the white on top. So we want to make kind of like a darker brown sand color. We want to actually make that for two reasons. We want to make it for the bottom of the boat with the shoreline, and also we're going to use it for the little turtle area too. So we'll get both of those done at once. We might make the turtle one just a wee bit darker because it's kind of like a hole in the sand, so we want it maybe a touch darker. But yeah, we'll be making that color and using it for those few areas there. So I'm going to wash off my medium round brush. We're going to do more color mixing. It's going to be like 4 colors this time, so we're getting crazy. Lots of colors. Gotta get black ready? Yeah, I don't have black yet. That top froze. Your face is frozen. It looked odd. I'm sure it did. I've seen many thumbnail screen captures of my face, and they never look great, Abby. They never look great. I'm always like, yeah. Your son came back, Lynn, working up north of Quebec, deep in the wood. Oh, that's good, Lynn. I'm very, very glad. That sounds like some peaceful work, too. Working in the woods, that's really nice. Shay, you have returned! Lovely, work is done! Not work, you are done work. Went off to do a personal thing. Thoughts on inside, did you finish it? Okay, so I'm going to start to mix our beach color, and then I'll keep chatting here. So I'm going to start by mixing red and yellow together, actually. We're going to start by mixing red and yellow, and I want just about equal amounts of those. So I always say, as tempting as it is, I find that when I do equal amounts, I get a reddish orange. Like, it's a very, very kind of deep, fiery orange. Kind of like that. And I know it's tempting to want to add yellow to that and make it more like this orange. It's more of like orange in my brain anyway to do that, but I won't do it. I won't do it. I'm just going to do even amounts of red and yellow and leave it alone. Just like that. Oh, sorry, I was asking Shay if she finished the not show, special Inside. She was talking about watching Inside on Netflix. And I've seen it, and I'd love opinions if she indeed finished it. Yes, all good, Lynn, you're fine. Yeah, and I have feelings. There you are. Feel free to process those feelings before telling us about them if you want. I'll talk more about it in a second. So yeah, red, yellow. I'm adding black next, a tiny bit of black. And you can see with the addition of the black, we definitely get a nice brown color. It's like a nice chocolatey brown. That was red, yellow, and a little bit of black. I might also don't want to... Oh, okay, got you, okay. Oh, you don't? Oh, I'm such a big fan of Beau. He's got 2 other specials on Netflix. They are very different than those, but also not. His comedy specials are all similar in that they're very... I don't want to say planned out, very just on cue. He has everything down to the second what he wants to do. Except he does it live in the other 2 specials. He does like live tours, right? So I think it's even cooler to see him like put it all together on a stage. Anyway, highly recommend. So that's our brown. And then one last color, I can add a little bit of white if you want to just lighten it up a little bit more, because the brown might be very harsh on top of the sand color. So using some white, you can see really tones it down a bit more. So add some white if you want. That was 4 colors total. It was red and yellow, half. We got some black and then some white. Okay, and I'm just going to softly put that on, again, underneath the boat and on the beach here. So I'm just using a little bit of paint. I'm actually going to darken that a tiny bit more. I added a little too much white, I think. And yeah, softly applying it. So just kind of like lightly sweeping, again, along the bottom edge of the boat. So yeah, I'm not blending it or anything, I'm just kind of softly putting it on so that it appears a little softer on the edges, especially on kind of like the bottom edge here, and just lightly wiping back and forth a little bit. So it creates a nice shadow. And then I'll bring it down onto the shore. Oh, I want to comment so bad on all this, hold on. There we go. Okay. How'd you do the reflection with the sun? Just small little dabs of white, Abby. You're welcome to watch the video back if you're missing anything. Watching on Netflix, Perdita? Is that the show, Lynn? What's that about? Are they, Allie? No way, he's making a resurgence? Because he was like my era. He was a YouTube boy like 12 years ago. And now he's all grown up and he's doing some specials. That's crazy. Do they watch him on YouTube, Allie? Like, he's not on YouTube anymore, but he has his old videos there. I'm curious what content they like from him. Turning 30. Yeah, that song came out like half a month after I turned 30 and I was only a tiny bit bitter. I was like, Bo, how dare you? I could have been singing that song throughout the whole birthday stream, throughout the whole day. Turning 30, like flashing his cell phone around me. It would have been great. Yeah. Gotcha, that's cool. I'd be curious to check him out. Yes, yeah, if you have any sort of, I know that there's lots of feelings in this one. The other ones have tiny, I would say smaller hits of those feelings, Shay. He always has a little bit of a like personal sentiment or more serious note at the end of the specials, I find, but nothing quite as like, quite as heavy as the whole special that you just watched. But yeah, similar humor, very similar humor. The idea of like joke into song type stuff, all performing live, it's great stuff, yeah. Made me be grateful to not have turned 30 this year. I literally turned 30 in a week. I just couldn't. Dear God. Our stupid friends are having stupid children. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it, Shay? Yeah, I've been humming that here and there. For those painting, I'm just again carrying this brown down. You can see down on the shoreline, again trying to create a nice soft edge all the way. And you can bring it a little further to the left if you want. We will be covering a lot of this with white, so I wouldn't worry too much about getting it messy. It looks a little messy kind of on the left-hand side here. But we'll be covering with some white anyway. I'm just kind of putting it here to darken up the sand a little bit underneath the white that we're eventually going to put there, so it's fine. Yes, Lynn, if you want more context, it's a comedy special called Inside, and the comedian Bo Burnham did the whole thing from a room in his home. He does a crazy amount of, again, like jokes through songs, so he writes full-length songs. He did all the shooting himself, all the writing himself. He didn't have a team helping him with anything. He did the editing himself. It's pretty nuts. He's a very, very talented guy. And yeah, it makes you feel a lot. It makes you feel a lot regarding just the pandemic and productivity and how everyone has been feeling, and yeah, so it's a little heavier, but it's also very funny. Right, was the one YouTube sketch? Oh. Yeah, his YouTube stuff was basically him on a piano in his bedroom, just writing songs. It's very similar to still what he does. I think it's elevated a lot for sure, but yeah, I feel like that was mostly what he did on YouTube when I first found him. Abby, if you click my name, then click videos, you should be able to click on this video and be able to start from the top. We just watched Inside. They listened to his songs. I posted my fave Discord. Oh, okay, I'm curious, Allie. Thank you. Yeah, that's interesting. Again, maybe they'd be interested in more of his content. I don't know. His live specials, if they liked Inside. Just song-wise, like he has catchy songs from a lot of his other specials as well. And again, that was his start, was on YouTube. He was like right at the birth of YouTube, really. And he was writing songs then too, so maybe they like those ones too. They're all very, very clever. Yeah. Yes, feel free, Lynn. I'd be curious what you think. I love recommending it. Any of his specials, really, but Inside is quite special. I think I maybe made it too dark again, didn't I? Remember I was like, it's too light, I'm gonna darken it. I think I made it a little too dark. Just trying to soften the edge a little bit. If you don't like what you have, or if you want to soften even more, you could always use your beige color and kind of wipe on the edges here, but I'm happy with what I see on this side. It's just this side I'm a little nervous about, but I'm gonna trust myself and leave it for the white, right? We're gonna have some white kind of foam on top, so it should be fine. While we have this brown though, we're going to add a little bit for the turtles coming out of the sand. So I'm just grabbing the same brown that I was using. Again, you're welcome to darken it maybe a tiny bit if you want, just because they're coming out of like a deep dark hole. But I'm just gonna choose, yeah, where my first turtle is, maybe like tap the brush. So you can get a nice little dugout hole. Then you can either lightly tap kind of on the edges here, or you can kind of flick your brush a little bit just to make it look like some sand has been disrupted kind of all around the hill, you know? Or not the hill, the hole, excuse me. Yeah, like they really dug themselves out. So I'm just lightly tapping with small amounts of paint and just creating a little bit of a hole for the turtles to come out of. It's good, yeah. Shay's kind of reassessing and then maybe not spoiling, so she's not telling us much, but I am curious about feelings too. So possibly spoiling when he shared his mental health story. Right, I was totally floored. Again, I don't know anything about him, but the idea of having dealt with that when he did. Oh, I know, yeah. You know, I've talked to a lot of people about how they feel about the special, and I feel like I'm on the weird end of feeling a little more positive about things. Like, I felt quite inspired by it. But that was one part that obviously was hitting me quite hard, was hearing about his struggles as well. Shay, yeah, it's, I wouldn't call it a spoiler, it's okay. Yeah, in the special, Bo goes a little bit into, yeah, how he's feeling during the pandemic and just like how he's feeling about making this special and creating such a big commitment for himself. Yeah, a lot of people were kind of voicing concern. I honestly, he's kind of a private guy, so it's a little hard to, yeah, like tell if he is doing okay now that everything's kind of looking a little bit more hopeful pandemic-wise and the specials out and all that. But yeah, I really do hope he's okay. He's quite private. He's not very active on socials, so it's very difficult to tell. Just a quick little I'm good would be good, but keep doing you, you know? Yup. Yeah. That's what I'm referencing, what I was saying to Shay earlier with his other specials. He always kind of has like one song or one moment that's a little more like, oh, everyone like sits up a little more and they're like, oh, okay, this is a little more serious, huh? He has one of those pretty much every special. Yes, I need to trust myself, Lynn. Yeah, all of our Spotify top plays are gonna be just wrecked by Bo. It's all over TikTok too. Oh my goodness. Making its rounds. Okay, just finishing up this little hole area, and then I'm just gonna add some small little bits where the turtles are starting to slither away there. They don't slither, they're not snakes. Running away, flopping away, I don't know. Escaping, going on their new adventure. Alright, so that's the hole. And then I'm just grabbing more of that color, and I'm just gonna do small little like tick marks or just kind of drag my brush a little bit and keep lifting it so it looks like, again, there's little, you know, track marks in the sand from where the eventual turtles will be. Excuse me. And they're all going, of course, to the water. So anywhere from your hole towards the water is fine. You don't need to leave room for the turtles. You can put the turtles right on top of this color, so don't worry about leaving spaces for them. They will have their moment. That's pretty good. It's little track marks for the eventual turtles. Alright, I'm just gonna wash off my brush and I'll go on to the next step in a quick minute. Yeah, I feel like it. Yeah, I highly recommend Gertie. Highly recommend to everybody. Uh-oh, are they? What's the record at, Lynn? I haven't been keeping up with them. What shape is that? I described it kind of as a hole with small little bits of sand coming out. You can see it's the where the turtles are coming out. It's like the hole where the turtles are. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of spider-shaped almost. Yeah, honestly. I think I remember thinking that too when I was originally making this painting. I was like, it's kind of a kind of sandy spider a little bit. It'll make sense when the turtle's there. Mm-hmm. It's so nice with the HD, your hand moving, and then I honestly like it too. Thank you very much, Lynn. I could do this all day and just watch my hand. Honestly, it's kind of fun. So much different than what my cameras used to be, huh? Mm-hmm. Oh wow, 3-0 if they win. Uh-oh. Yikes, yikes. That's not looking great, is it? Okay, I'll go quickly into the next step because it's a quite simple step. We're just going to do a second layer on the boat. We just want to make sure we have a nice white boat before we add our nice little details on there. So I'm just grabbing more white and doing a nice second coat. You can see how much brighter that small little bit of paint is. That's because it's a nice second coat on top of our first. And I find that 2 coats is all you need as long as you really let the first coat dry. Do a nice even layer of paint a second time here. And all is well, even if your paint is quite transparent like mine. And I will add just a touch of shading with this step too, so hang on for that. I'm just going to add the white first. I want to add a little gray on the bottom just to blend in as the white is still wet. Love it to see your nail color tonight with the cedar. Yeah! It all matches! Nice summery peachy tones. No peach in the painting, unfortunately, but got other nice sunsetty tones for sure. There we go. It's nice and bright now. Beautiful and bright. And again, just while the white is wet, I have the opportunity to kind of blend in some gray. I did a touch of gray at the bottom here for some shading. See that there? So I'm just grabbing a tiny amount of black and mixing it with some white on my plate to make more of a gray color. And then I'm just adding a small amount to the bottom. I like to kind of apply it and then I'll blend it so I'm not adding too much paint. So I did a quick little streak of that gray. I'm wiping my brush off so there's no extra gray. And then I'm just gonna kind of blend it on that top edge. Again, that's a little safer. That way you're not messing around with too much paint color on your brush. Just add it, wipe it off, and then play with it. You can see it stays nice and close to the bottom, just a nice subtle little shadow there. I might add a tiny bit more. It looks like a lot of that kind of disappeared. Try again, try again. There we go, wipe it off, blend away. Cool. I like that shadow, so I'll leave it. Quick minute. If I paint this one, I'll run the boat Bob. Oh yes! Like your Bob boat. Bob one. Perfect. Yes, we do add a little like boat code or name, so you can do whatever you want, of course. That's an easy thing to personalize. Bob one. That's perfect, Lynn. Bob one. Okay, I think we'll leave the brown just a tiny bit more, just in case. I think we'll do the trees next. Actually, the trees are green, and then we can add the green there. Yeah, actually, we're gonna go to the foam next. This is completely dry on my end, so that'll be fine. Oh, cool. Take care, dear, and talk to you. Oh, gotta go. No worries, Lynn. I'll see you later. I'll be online tomorrow if you're around. Otherwise, no worries. I'll release my schedule for next week soon. I skipped Facebook again this week, but it's because I was barely online, so I'll post for next week. I'll see you later. Alright, so I'm going to add some white to the shoreline here. As I said before, this will help kind of cover up a little bit of this messiness. So I'm going to do kind of like a harsher white edge first, and then we're going to soften it up with some kind of like foamy bits kind of coming out into the water. So I'm grabbing some white paint on my medium round brush. Of course, after I've washed it off, I will wipe it off a little bit. I don't want a harsh line, but it's going to be a little brighter right at the edge here. So I'm kind of doing the right hand edge, kind of the inside edge of this foam. So I'm going to start up here by the boat, and I'm just kind of trailing it down, Just kind of following a little bit of the brown. You can kind of wiggle it in and out maybe a little bit more, give it a little more shape like it's some waves kind of coming in and out from the beach. Goes like in and out here. Wave, 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 stuff like that. You can see not the brightest white, it's still a little transparent, but it's going to be a little bit harsher than the rest of the foam here. So I'm just kind of leaving that there for now. And you can see I placed it right in the middle of the brown, so I can still see some on this side because this is all wet sand, right? And then we have some on the other side as well. Lovely, I'm glad, Lynn. Yep, I always post the events, it's just sometimes not the whole schedule. So glad you saw the event. I already do have an event posted for next week, everybody, in case you're interested. That's what Lynn was just referencing. I have a tutorial next Friday, so it's already up. Good, good, good. All right, and now what I want to do is bring some foam out to the left here. So this is kind of just like, yeah, all the foam that's kind of blending into the water a little bit more, maybe just kind of like the white caps of the water. Small, tiny little waves coming in. They all have little kind of foamy bits or white caps on them. So I'm just using even less white paint now, so I just kind of wiped off my brush a little bit more. I'm just going to streak some of this white kind of coming into the water, so it kind of streaks from this white line in a little bit. It comes back in a little bit. You're kind of just zigzagging a little bit in and out. You're kind of covering those areas, but also trying to combine the white with the water a bit. So you might see some brown kind of coming through and showing through. That's totally fine. That's the point. You'll see a little bit of the brown kind of underneath. It should be nice and transparent. And yeah, just trying to cover up any messiness too. So if there's anything you don't like, you can kind of bring some light brush strokes of white on top, kind of just lightens it up, makes it a little foamier. Yeah, you can kind of wiggle it kind of in and out. You can see how sometimes I just do small little like curves or loops, and then other times I kind of bring it straight into the water a little bit. Anything like that, just a nice little messy foamy area. I'm gonna add a little more white to this edge too to brighten it up maybe. Yeah, it is 50% the letter A. It is. Fun fact of the day. Words. My weekly is done now, so I must go. Okay, sounds good, Gertie. Thanks for hopping in. Happy to hear about your new position and all that. Good luck with your homework. Again, nice and soft. Just using small amounts of paint, lightly wiping anywhere along that shoreline. To bring maybe a little bit more up here. When I get home. What's that, Charlene? Add maybe a teeny bit more. Oops. Get the other side of my brush in the paint. Maybe that was a mistype, Charlene. We'll see. Okay, I'm liking what I see there. I just want to maybe lighten up that patch right there. There we go. Yeah, again, you can see I like some brown showing through, but sometimes I just kind of lighten it up a bit by adding a tiny bit of white. Just softens it a bit, because I like the dark edge right against kind of the foam bit here, right? So you can see I don't like any super dark patches showing through kind of on the left-hand side. Cool. I'll just leave that for a quick minute. And we're going to do... Oh, I've got a plan now. We should actually... I keep changing my mind. We're going to do the gray next, and then we'll do all the green stuff together. I try and keep it as convenient as possible, obviously, so you're not remixing the same color. We use the dark green for the boat, the trees, and the turtles. So we're just going to use that same green everywhere. We'll do the gray first to get that done, and then we'll get all the greens on. I'm gonna grab a teeny tiny brush, so I'm gonna prep that for now. Need a nice small brush for all that nice little detail in there. Alright, so as described, we're going to do the gray now. So we have some gray detail in the boat here. I'll zoom in just a wee bit. I thought there was a scale, but I guess not. Yeah, very rough, very kind of rickety looking. It's not super straight. The lines are kind of like split up a little bit more. It just makes it look a little more rustic, a little thinner as well. Whenever I'm trying to do thin lines, a trick that I use is that I split them up a little bit as if we can only see like small bits of the line. It makes it look super thin that way. So yeah, that's what we'll be doing. We're creating a nice gray color and just creating the look of kind of like a wooden boat. Zoom, 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 zoom. There we go. So I'm mixing a nice gray color. I'm mixing white and black. Sorry, I almost said yellow and black. That's not right. Lots of white, little bit of black. I'm mixing kind of like a light gray color. Hey Ray, evening! Welcome in. How's your week been? I know I've been offline a little bit, so hoping your whole week was good. Usually I'm asking how your day was, but this time it's your week. That's okay, Charlene. I guessed it was a mistype after not hearing back. That's okay. Okay, so I'm using gray on my teeny tiny brush. You can use whatever brush you want as long as it creates some nice thin lines. And I'm going to start just by doing like horizontal lines. They're not perfectly horizontal. I'm kind of using the horizontal shape of the boat, of course. So kind of starting in the top right area and just going to very lightly try and get some thin lines on. Again, you can see I was kind of lifting my brush on and off to make it look like the line is a little more split up because it's so thin. I'm gonna do another one right underneath. Yeah, I'm just doing some small little strips here. I want it to make it look like it's like a nice row of boards. Nice wooden boat, so just doing some nice horizontal strips. You can even add a little bit of water to your paint. That sometimes thins it out a little bit. Well, it always thins it out, not sometimes. Thins it out a little bit, and it makes it easier to spread. If you're trying to get some thin lines, adding a little water will help. Got my second shot on Wednesday. Worst reaction than the first one. Hey, me too. It was actually Wednesday that I got mine as well. Got it in the morning. And I agree, the reaction was way worse than the first one. My first one, I honestly didn't really get a reaction. I got just the little sore arm bit, and I was like, okay, this is easy, it's fine. But yeah, Wednesday evening, Thursday during the day, I was not doing so hot at all. Didn't get anything done. Minimal work. Felt very weak. It was around like 10 hours after I got the shot, everything kind of hit at once. I was like, uh-oh. So yeah, can relate, can relate. Hope you're feeling good now. I'm feeling fine now, Bray. I hope you are too. Alright, so those are the horizontals, and then after that I do a few little vertical, just small little tick marks. These are just kind of separating the boards, right? We're creating the illusion of a board, a board, a board. So I'm just doing some vertical lines to kind of split up these horizontal ones. About the same length away, maybe. You know, trying to get the boards roughly the same size. And then the next row down, I'm going to offset them a little bit, of course. I don't want them all lining up, so just making sure they're not lining up row to row. Maybe the next one I'll put over like here. Again, they can be very rough. They don't need to be clean or anything. And heck, why not make the boards different sizes? If it's a really like roughly put together boat, very rustic boat. Maybe the boards are all kind of different sizes, so no worries. Oh, and the top edge you don't need to worry about. If you already did it, that's okay. But we will be putting green on top, so you don't need to worry about getting all the detail in there. Sore arm and headache haven't gone away. Oh, that's true. I guess I do have the sore arm. Very minimally, though. Yeah, I can lift this. Oh, it's still kind of there. It's still kind of there if I lift up all the way. But my headache is gone. Hope you're drinking lots of water. No for me. Yeah, I'm sorry. I assume you're doing the water, but if not, just keep drinking that water. That's what I've heard continues to help. Even though I prepped and drank all the water I could the day of, it still didn't help. But maybe it's helping now, I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully by tomorrow, right? I've heard it doesn't last too long after, maybe 2 to 3 days, so hopefully maybe today's your last day. Maybe after a good sleep you'll feel a difference a bit. Okay, let's go on to the last few steps here of adding some green. We have quite a few places to add our green, but it's the same color each time. So we can mix a bunch of it together and then use our brush to, yeah, create some details, the trees, and of course the turtles, the main event, the nice turtles. So I'm going to mix together blue and yellow on my plate. I'm mixing, I would say, more blue than yellow because I want a nice deep green for all of these. All of these have a really nice deep green. So I'm using more blue. And that'll create a very nice deep dark green down here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm just adding a small little color detail to the boat by adding this green strip along the top. Use whatever brush you like. I'm just using my small detail brush, of course. Going right along, trying to keep it a pretty consistent width, whatever it may be. So I'm trying to just press down on the brush the same amount the whole way through, just going up, up, up. Again, if you want to water it down, maybe a touch, that'll help, but I don't want it to become transparent. That's the one thing about water. The more you add, the more transparent the paint becomes, so I try and just add a little here and there whenever I need it. Especially right now, I wanted a nice deep green, so I don't want to make it too transparent. Alright, nice green strip. Then if you want to add, I was saying earlier to Lynn, like a nice little boat name or code or anything like that, you can of course do that. This was customized. As I said, this was a commission for a client for a private event, so this was customized for them. You can do whatever you like. Maybe I'll customize to myself this time. I'll put like a BUN for bun. No numbers, it's just the bun boat. And I put that on the top right. You can put it wherever you want, but I feel like it's either like bottom left or top left, top right. It's probably along the top somewhere. The bun boat. B U N. Alright, all the buns jump in. This is our boat. Beep beep. Boat isn't leaving because it's beached. Oh, that end got a little bit big. Whoopsie. Match the others. There we go. The bun boat, so cute. Come sail away. Come sail away. Sail away with me in the bun boat. We don't even have a sail though. Where would we go? We're just like drifting out in open water with nothing to do. There's no paddles in this boat unless they're hiding. Just like come drift away. Drift away with me in the bun boat. It's all shoddy and stuff, but that's okay. It's a pontoon. Alright, we can add some green for the nice palm trees in the back. I'm gonna keep using this small brush here, the teeny tiny brush. same color, this nice dark green. I'm just mixing a little more because I ran out. And of course my battery runs out too. It's gotta be the center of attention. Can't stand it. You're gonna add a step? No, 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 let me die first. Alright, we got another one fully charged here. Running out of their juice, I tell you. Alrighty. Oh, cool. The brightness stayed the same this time. That's nice. Alright, so I'm taking this nice deep green, and I think I'll start by making the tree trunks of these palm trees. So I just add 2. They're very much in the background. I just wanted something to kind of cover up that area there and to give a little more, you know, of a story for the background here. It's not just a beach. We have some palm trees at least. So I'm using my teeny tiny brush, and I'll do 2 tree trunks that kind of come up and bend a little. So one bends a little to the left, one bends a little to the right. And they're palm trees, so they have pretty much the same width going up. I would maybe make them a tiny bit wider. You can see maybe a tiny bit wider at the bottom here. But I don't really thin them out too much as they come up. They don't really come to a point. This will be covered up anyway. So yeah, just a little bit of thinning is fine. Yo, Nesta, what's up? Hello! We're just coming near the end of our painting tutorial. We still have a little bit to go, but welcome in! How's your week been? I've been offline for a whole week due to unforeseen circumstances with my power! We had a big storm here on Tuesday. So my power was out and I could not go online. And as a result, I was offline for a week. How's your week been? And I'm just adding a second one. You can see kind of veering off to the right there. Before I start to add the palm leaves, I'm just going to add some kind of like grass or anything just kind of covering up near the tree trunks just by flicking my brush. So I'm just starting from the bottom where the sand meets the sky and just flicking upwards. Doing small little thin strokes, just kind of covering up that base there and making it look like there's maybe a little more foliage aside from those 2 palm trees. You can kind of swipe along the bottom if you want to even it out, kind of create a nice horizontal line on the bottom just to keep it, yeah, a nice clean edge. Otherwise just flicking all the way to the side here until we meet the boat. That's pretty good there. It was okay, my birthday's— oh, but I worked. Well, happy birthday anyway. Did you have any opportunity to celebrate, or maybe you're saving that a little bit? Hey Sauron, welcome in. I'll throw in a team out this time. Welcome in. No footballs today. So I'm gonna party. Oh, the weekend away. Okay, I should have read that first. Yes, the weekend. Excellent. Do you have any specific plans? Like friends or going somewhere? Yes, happy belated. So many July. It's your time. Okay, fine. It's your time to shine. May's over. For real though. We're having another birthday wave, it looks like. July, it's your time! Yeah, Shay, do you have any plans yet? Are you not sure yet about what you're doing? Maybe on the Friday or a different day? Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and do the leaves now, everybody. So the leaves for palm trees, what I like to do is I like to kind of map out where they are first. So I'm just going to draw on where they're going. So I usually have one hanging down. I'll leave a little gap, maybe curve one over to the left. Like we're making a big firework almost. It's just a bunch of lines coming out from that top part of the trunk. And they all kind of curve a little bit like they're kind of hanging down, right? So whatever direction they're going, they kind of hang down. This one is all messy, but yeah, going to the right, curving down. Curving down. Looks like you're creating a big firework. And then I'll maybe bring you closer as I do this so you can really see. You're going to choose one of the leaves and you're going to start flicking outwards on one side and outwards on the other side. I'm flicking out a little bit longer at the base, and then as I get to the tip, I'm flicking shorter and shorter just to keep a nice little thin tip at the end of the leaf. And that's really all. And I get to do this a little quicker because it's a small little palm tree. You don't see all the nice little details. You don't need to be super exact with your little brush strokes and all that. As long as you're getting the basic shape of them all. So again, flicking outwards on either side of each of those lines, getting a little bit shorter and even a little bit tighter, I'll say too. So instead of flicking kind of out, you're flicking more so with the line, if that makes sense, kind of flush with the line, so it all kind of comes together at the tip there. I'll do a few more and you can see. So again, flicking outwards, 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 and then they kind of fall into place with the line that it's following. Outwards, outwards, outwards. Shorter and more in place with the line. Slowly it's putting it together. Okay, I'm gonna scroll up so I can read a bit. That's okay, Charlene, it's the same color. We're just using the same color, dark green. Pool party barbecue. Oh, that sounds nice, Nessa. I can't wait for those days. We're a little more behind here in Ontario, but those days are coming soon, I think. That sounds pretty low-key, too. Maybe with some nice friends and family and stuff. That's more my speed as well. And then Shay is taking Friday off. No solid plans yet, but I did just decide that I'm going home later this month. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah. Oof. Yeah, I haven't been on a plane since probably just a couple months after that. Would have been February 2020. I was in Whistler at that point doing some snowboarding. So I feel ya. Are you nervous at all because of that, or you're pretty good with planes? Draw coconuts on the palms, 2 or 3 each palm. I didn't add that just because they're so far in the background, but that could for sure easily be added by others if they wanted. I'm gonna put this down now. I feel like you have the idea of what I'm doing with the palm leaves, so I'm just gonna whip on the other ones on the other tree, and then we can do our nice little totals. Little turtles. And yeah, this one you can see kind of falls off a bit, so I don't need to worry as much about the right hand leaves, of course. Okay, just flicking the brush, coming down, coming down. Okay, these are really good practice palm trees, just because they're so far in the distance, right? You don't need to worry too much about how they're looking. Basic shapes. Flying doesn't scare me. Flying with COVID makes me nervous. For sure, yeah, but my trust in my vaccine and masking, plus my need for a break and to see families finally at Wangler. That's good. Yeah, I totally understand that, Shay, and, oops. Dark green on my finger. Yeah, I think that's a good call to mask up. Just in case. I know you're fully vaccinated, you have been for a little bit, so that's great. And, yeah, I would say it's important to see family. It's been weird for me kind of grappling with that too, like what is essential, what is necessary, you know? And it's weird to be told that like seeing loved ones and or family is not as essential right now. Like whenever it's talked about in terms of like flying, it's like, well, if your family member's dying, then you can go see them. It's kind of like, can I see them before they die though? Like, preferably I'd like to spend time with them before they have died. You know? So I'm glad you're making that decision. It sounds like we are at a time now where that can be done responsibly. More people getting vaccinated and yourself obviously being vaccinated too. And again, I'm glad you're deciding to keep a mask on just in case too. I think that's a good extra precaution. They were not Vray. I had to get Moderna. I looked around a little bit. That is like the question of the day. Did I get both the same? I had to look around a little bit. Is that? Oh no, that's on my computer screen. Sorry, I see a white dot right in the middle here, and it's actually just a flick of paint on my computer screen. Yeah, on Sunday I was in Toronto, and my whole plan was to look around for some pop-ups in Toronto because they have lots of clinics in Toronto, which apparently are just like pulling people in from the streets because they have so many vaccines in Toronto that they're just apparently like, hello, come in here, we have vaccines to give out. We don't have that here. So I was in Toronto and I was looking around for that. Didn't find any that said they had Pfizer. It was all Moderna. And then on Monday, I registered online for my vaccine and they wouldn't tell me what they were giving me. So I just said, just stick me with whatever. And on Wednesday, I got it. It was Moderna. So that's fine. I've read enough to be convinced that it's safe. That's number one, but also number two, that it's pretty much just as effective. Like, they don't have exact numbers on it, but they said it's effective enough. So I'm down to get it. If I need to get another Pfizer or 2 more Pfizer in 6 months or something, stick me again, you know? I'm fine. Is Toronto safe to go? I think it's always been kind of safe. I personally was just visiting with a couple friends there, and yeah, I don't know. People are out and about. Like, I think, you know, the province is opening up for things like patio seating and all that, so that's okay, and a lot of people are vaccinated at this point, fully vaccinated. I think it depends on how you treat it, Ray. Yeah, I was still avoiding, like, big crowds, for example, and stuff. Yeah, CJ says Toronto's great. I think anywhere is kind of just how you treat it, right? It's not like Toronto's, like, not safe. If anything, my area has more cases per capita than Toronto does, so Toronto's probably safer than where I am currently. My area is not doing so well right now. Right, it's a tough call. I feel weird about it, to be totally— I get it. Yeah, my public health brain fighting with— No, yeah, I understand more than you know. But I've gone just about nowhere this whole time, and it feels like time. I think you've done your waiting, Shay. It's not even like— I wouldn't even think about it like, I've done my work, like it's my turn. It's just more like, it's the right time now. I think you were right to wait that time. And I think it's— yeah, it's not like recommended to travel. It's not like, yes, please travel. But it's also saying, you know, we're being told that it's safe to do these things now if you're fully vaccinated. I just read through a whole sheet of like, if you're vaccinated, if you're partially vaccinated, what should you do? And it had like a cute little chart of like, keep your mask on in this situation, don't keep your mask on. And like every situation for fully vaxxed was like, you can safely remove your mask. Mask is for a precaution at this point, so yeah, I'm just doing the best I can at understanding and reading, but I think you're on the right track for sure. And again, I keep saying that, like, yeah, seeing family and loved ones, it doesn't need to be due to an emergency issue at this point. I think it was fair that they were saying that at the start, but I think it's time that we can say, hey, seeing family, friends is like probably needed for just your own like mental health and well-being too. Like you said, if you haven't been flying and seeing them for a long time, it's probably really eating at you. So yeah, like when does that kind of come into play, right? All right, let's get some little turtles on here. That's the last step of this painting. I see we're a couple minutes past 10, so I'll try and get these on just a little bit quicker in case anyone's on a time limit. But basically, the turtle shape, I'll do like a big turtle first, then I'll do the variations for you. The turtle shape is quite simple because, again, they are nice and small. I think I'll try and zoom in for you here. You can see a little close-up of some turtles. There we go. So basic shape, you got the shell. You got the two smaller legs at the back, you got the two larger kind of flippers on the front, and then a nice little head. The shell part is kind of like an almond shape. I feel like I use almond as a shape a lot. Kind of 2 points and 2 curves. So start wherever you want. I'm going to put a few turtles on here. So almond for the shell. I like to do the shell first, so just a curve going up and down, and then one going down and up, meeting at 2 points at the ends. Yeah, I say almond, I could say football even. I could switch it up. Always thinking about food. Lovely, yummy almond shape. Smooth that a bit more. Yep. Alright, so the two little feet on the back you can see are nice and small. So I literally just take my brush and I kind of press it down and then bring it into the shell. So I'm kind of like fanning out the brush by pressing it down and then bringing it into the shell. So it's just like a small little nib popping out. Just a little foot kind of saying hello. One on the other side as well. So one on either side of the back end of the shell. And then for the two front fins here, fins, flippers, oh my goodness, I don't know what to call them. I had this issue last time we did turtles online as well. These ones are a little bit bigger because they use them to swim, right? So I kind of think of them as two pieces. The first piece is just kind of like a small little tick mark coming out. I'll do the two tick marks first, kind of just flaring out from the top and bottom near the front of the shell. So just two brush strokes is what I mean. Two small brush strokes or tick marks, whatever you want to refer to them as. It's like they're the little limbs hanging on to the little flipper part. And then the flipper part is kind of like a teardrop shape, like an elongated teardrop. You can see it kind of curves at the start, comes to a tip at the end. I'm just attaching those to those two little tick marks or two little brush strokes. There's one. There's two. And you can make them go a variety of different directions. I think that's kind of the fun part. Either the turtle's like, you know, way out like this, he's like stretching out and trying to kind of push the sand behind him, or maybe he's already done that, so the flippers are kind of in the back, or maybe they're in the front. So you can change up the direction of those to make it look like the turtles are, yeah, they're all kind of in different motions, right? And then last but not least, we have a cute little turtle head. So that's kind of just like a mini almond shape at the front of the shell. So we're just doing another curve up and down, curve down and up, and it just kind of attaches to the front there. See that? It's just like a mini shell that attaches to the big shell. And that's a little turtle. So you can do a couple of those if you want. Maybe I'll do one up here, just to show you a variation of like where the little flippers are going. Are they flippers or fins, or what the heck are they? I feel like I'm botching it. I think I was corrected last time we did a turtle and I already forget what I should be calling them. Apparently it's like this, exactly. Going wee. Saying I'm free! And in our painting, there are no seagulls, right? So all the turtles live. We don't look at the stats about how many baby turtles don't survive making it to the ocean. Because we know in this painting, it's our world, and therefore all the baby turtles survive. That's why I didn't add any birds to this painting, not even in the distance. They don't know these turtles are here. These guys are all safe and sound. It's fine. We don't need to worry about it. Just a Hypers turtle. Whee! Hypers! Put your hands up. Do, 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 do. All eyes on me. On me. Okay, and then you can again add as many as you want, depending on how long your little area is. But the other two turtles I wanted to point out was one kind of in the foam and one still in the hole, just kind of crawling out. So they're pretty much the same things, you're just making versions of them. So for example, the one crawling out of the hole, you're pretty much just doing the front of the turtle. You're not thinking about the back. The back end is going to be kind of lost in the hole. We're hoping that that kind of makes it look a little more like a hole and less like a spider. So I'm doing a small little head. I'll maybe do like the first half of the shell and then just kind of like flick my brush to make it look like it's kind of disappearing somewhere underneath that dirty sand there. And I've got two little fins coming up like this, definitely like the little Hypers guy. He's really pulling himself out. He's like, let me go. That's that guy. Again, so I just kind of left the back end. You can even cover it with more sand if you want, or make it even darker to make it look like it's really just lost in the darkness over there. And then I have one that's a little more in the foam. This guy has reached freedom. I'll bring it over. You can see, yes, this guy is like, freedom! Hits the water, yes! And yeah, he's the same shape and everything. The only difference is I don't want to fully fill him in. So I'm just going to kind of dot my brush as I'm making the shape and kind of lift it on and off. And that way it makes it look like the foam is kind of overtaking a little bit of the turtle. Kind of splashing over top of him. So I'm gonna do, you can see the back end is pretty clear. But then as I get to the front end, I'll just kind of like tap my brush with the green so that it looks like some foam is on top. I like to poke his little head out for sure. His head's like going, ah, right above the foam. Just kind of like dot for the fins a little bit. You'll kind of see a little bit through. Dot, 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 something like that. There. That makes it look like the foam is kind of washing up over top of him. And if it didn't work out that way, you can always do the whole turtle and then take white after it's dry and just tap it on top as well, if you like that look a little bit better. Sometimes it's weird doing it the other way around, where technically adding the thing underneath second, and that's a little bit weird sometimes. So if you want to instead add the foam, which should be actually on top, you can dot it on top. All right, Erin, I made the whole look like a brick. Oh, that's okay. Put birds in the sky and brown coconuts. No, of course. Yeah, Charlene, you know, that's totally fine. Everyone, if you changed it up, that's your call. No rules as usual. That hasn't changed. You're welcome to do whatever you want. Yeah, if it's crabs you want, or coconuts, or if there are birds, that's fine. I hope they're just friendly birds. If you did some turtles, I hope you're not coming for the turtles. That's all I hope. And then technically on the original, I guess I should zoom in one more time to show you a small detail. It's hardly noticeable, but I did add a little bit of light green on the turtles as well, just if you want a small little highlight on them instead of just the plain dark green. So just lightening up your green by adding either a little bit of white or a little bit of yellow. And just kind of adding a little brush stroke either along the top of the shell or kind of along the top of the head. You can even try and make a little quick pattern on the shell. Very, very brief. I'm not doing anything crazy. Just doing a couple little like crisscrossing strokes. You can see them again in the original here, how it kind of comes along the top and then kind of crisscrosses. Just a couple lines going up and down, couple lines going left and right. So very minor detail, just wanted to show you that there. Look, it's like they're moving. Flash! Cool. Alright, I'll keep it zoomed out so you can see the whole thing. Oh yeah, that's maximized. There we go. And that's the final product. As usual, I'll give this a little signature to finish it off. There's my brown. Oh, there's a little bit left there. I'm going to use just kind of like a darker sand color to make it look like my name is etched in. Erin, but cool. There it is. Okay, let me there we go. Let me move. Let me do my little spiel as usual. I'm going to open up the Facebook event page for posting in case anyone wants to post photos there. Otherwise, I've got a couple things to tell you. You're welcome. Good, I'm very glad, Charlene. Yeah, again, I'm glad you all liked it because this was kind of one from my inventory, you can say. I didn't create this new this week or last week. It was one that I taught months ago to a private group, so I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Just gonna navigate for a quick second, then I'll say my spiel. Hey Zach, welcome in. Yeah, it's only been about 2 weeks since our last one, and I've got to let you know, they're going to be continuing to be a little bit sporadic over the next month or so, but don't worry, they're still coming. And we already have one scheduled for next week as well, so that's good. Edit, let's see. Settings. There we go. Update. Cool. Alright, so just to end things off, I'll just say thanks everybody for coming as usual. I'll say as always, your support means so much. Even just being here on Twitch really helps me. So watching live, again, thank you for those who continue to tune in live to these tutorials and to all of my painting streams as well. I stream multiple times a week in between painting tutorials on Fridays, so yeah, every view definitely helps me, so thank you for watching. And for those who painted along or arted along, I hope you had a great time. If you want to share what you made, I would love to see it, and everyone else loves to see what everyone else made too. It's like a nice big little sharing time, so if you'd like, you can share. Can you zoom in? Oh yes, of course. I'll do that for you, Gigi. No worries. Just gonna type in photos here. There we go. Yeah, if you'd like to share photos of what you did today, you're welcome to use any of those links that I just posted in chat. I always recommend the Facebook event page. That's a pretty good spot to check out. People post directly to the page. I hope that works for you, Gigi. Let me know if you need something else there. Yeah, Facebook event page. Some people use Instagram, just kind of tagging me, erinbunpaints, or doing hashtag erinbunpaints. Discord is a great place to share as well. All those links are right there in that little command in chat right now. So if you want to click anywhere in there and share your photo whenever you're done, feel free to do that. We lost one turtle today. Oh yes, but in a good way. We lost him to the sea, so that's good, Sushi, of course. I was mentioning earlier, but we already have another tutorial scheduled I don't have the painting right beside me, but I can show you on Facebook here. I'll actually bring it into this little window here temporarily, just so you can look forward to next week. It's a nice camping vibe. La 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 la, let me pull it up. It's another one for my inventory because I'm getting very busy offline. For those who don't know, I've been trying to set up an art store. That's taking a while and I'm trying to really prioritize it, so I'm starting to bring out some paintings from my inventory as a result. So here it is. This is the Facebook event here. It's me. It's a nice camping, kind of galactic camping painting with some nice trees and stuff, so that'll be next week if you're interested. Friday at 8 p.m. as usual. There you go. Yes, it will be sushi. Yeah, see, Shay recognizes it. Hee hee. So yeah, that'll be 8 p.m. next week. You can look forward to that. Again, the Facebook event page is up if you need to RSVP to help you reminded, but otherwise just be back here at 8 p.m. next week and you will be in as usual. If you're looking to repaint this, maybe you've been watching along on Twitch, or maybe, yeah, you're just kind of interested in watching this again, I will post this to YouTube, this whole tutorial to YouTube eventually. I'm hoping in the next week or two. I'm trying to get back on schedule with that, so you can look forward to that. YouTube is right here if you haven't subscribed. What else do I usually say? I don't know, my upcoming schedule. I'll be online tomorrow in case anyone's interested, for those who sometimes just tune in for the tutorials if you want to see more of me and what I'm doing. Yeah, I stream on Twitch throughout the week, so if you want to support me further just by watching, you can tune in any other time. Following me helps, so if you have a Twitch account, clicking the follow button underneath the stream really helps, and that way you're notified when I'm online, so you can help support me by viewing. Yeah, I'll be online tomorrow and then I'll post my schedule as usual. And then I guess just extra ways to support me. These are always just extra, not expected, always appreciated. Doing some tips and stuff like that. So if you type in !tips in the chat, I'll do it right now. You can see there's lots of little links to directly support me through tipping, through Interac, e-transfer, PayPal, or credit card by doing the Stream Elements tip link. So thank you for those who do that. That's going above and beyond, so thank you very much. Again, otherwise just tuning in helps me a lot, so thank you very much for doing that as well. Cool. All right, so I'll say a little goodbye to those who are off now if you're all done the tutorial, but otherwise I'll keep chatting with the chat a little bit, so stick around. We can chat a little bit more.